Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. As you can see, I've been sent a new toy to try out. It's the Arken ZULUS 5 to 20 times digital day and night scope. It's pretty much identical to the HITAC version, which has now been superseded since they were bought out by Arken. There's a view of it straight out of the box, and it does look a little different to the HITAC because of the laser range finder on the side. You push the button on the back there and the laser beam comes out of that front bit and obviously measures the distance for you, which I'll be testing in a minute, and pretty much looks the same. Compact and well built like the HITAC was. And that's a view of the front end, complete with laser rangefinder. This is the test. I'm actually using a laser rangefinder at the moment on it, and I'm also backing it up with my Leopold, which I've been using for years. I'm also pacing out to the target, which is an old bed chair, top of my garden. The laser rangefinder on test did flicker between 40 and 41 metres. I do like to think that my large paces are about a metre, which I've been thinking for a long time, and they look to be very close. I've gone through the one-shot zeroing process. It's pretty straightforward. Take a shot and a dot on a target. Wherever the pellet goes, then you put the crosshairs back on the dot. Then you press the button which freezes the frame, and then you move the crosshairs from the point of aim to the point of impact and press save. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I think I had to do it twice. I didn't quite get accurate enough the first time. If I had done, it would have worked perfectly well. And here we see the results. Quite happy with the targeting on this. I'll show you a close-up in a second. It's only at 15 yards, which is feeder distance. It's also quite convenient for rats, and you can see the 177 pellet right in the centre, give you an idea of how big they are. You can see I wobbled a bit on the one, but I pretty much keyholed the 177. And then obviously you have to go out into the wilds and take it hunting. I was faffing around with the controls at this point, trying to flip the video on and off, until eventually I smack it in the head. We've already been out here the last time. I missed that one. I think I slipped the side of its head. When we came out here last time, we had about 15 between myself and Bro, which seems to have dropped their numbers drastically. Wasn't a massive amount here. There's still a few around. I don't actually shoot this. I was playing hide and seek. I'm literally looking over the top of those coony pigs, which you've seen in the last video. Right in the corner of their pen. I'm not very far away. I'm very close, in fact. I'm probably about, I don't know, 15 feet. A lot closer than you'd think I would be. I tried to stretch it back a bit, but you have to avoid the hay bales. But if anything, it'll just prove to you what the quality of the video is like. I've zoomed right in. I think this might be maximum or very close to maximum zoom in. They definitely knew something was up. Quite frustrating in the end, this was. We didn't stop here that long on this night, mainly because we thought it was a lost cause. We'll leave it a few weeks and come back and see if we can pick a few more out for them. There definitely are a few more around. Not like the first time we came here. If you want to see what happened on that, you want to check out the other video, I'll put a link in the description. They were dipping in and out under that angle iron at the bottom, going behind the wall. See the back end sticking out. I'm not about to shoot that. Don't purposefully wound animals. You can see the pig in the foreground, which I have to keep an eye on. Anyway, we gave up on that. Decided to go shooting for squirrels quite early in the morning. You can see the snowdrops just coming through, beginning of January 2024, and that's the rifle I'm using. It's my Theoban Rapid 177, firing Barracuda Hunter Extremes, as I like to use. You can see it's just got light. I've already checked the feeder. I've seen there's a definite drop in it. Pretty sure there's going to be 1 or 2 out today. Normally the one comes quite soon after 8 o'clock. Getting set up to my satisfaction is a priority. I don't always film this part, but I always do it. And let's take a shot or 2 to see if my rifle is okay. I was only test driving it the other day, so it should be on. But if it isn't, I'd have to do something about it. Re-zero. Maybe it got bumped in the car, whatever. But now I'm happy, my rifle is perfectly on. I'm just going to wait for a squirrel to show up. You can see the sunlight starting to beam through, and there's a squirrel. Came in and disappeared up the tree. Caught me out. Don't know why it did it. Just caught the tail end. This looks like the time. For some reason, didn't want to stay. Quite bizarre, that. Very strange behaviour. I'll work out where it went. And there it is. Skipping off into the distance. So I don't know what that was all about. Didn't even give me an opportunity for a shot. I'm pretty sure there's squirrels in the wood. So I'm quite happy to wait and watch the birds. There's a little patch of wheat on the ground. We'll put it down. It attracts birds. Sometimes the squirrels will eat it. It's not always a good idea. Sometimes they'll turn their back on you. You can't see their head properly. I do like to attract other wildlife in. It draws attention to the feeder. It also gives me something to watch. I like to think that it gives a false impression it's all safe. A lot of birds out today. Nice to see. Breaks up the monotony of waiting. One came in, caught me unawares. Probably messing around on my phone. Wasn't doing it for long. Let's get the rifle sorted out now. When you turn the ZULUS or ZULUS, I'm not sure how to pronounce it really. I'll call it the ZULUS. Got to wake it up first. If you turn it on and just press the button, it just sits there, goes off power saving mode. I'm going to wake that up. That's beautiful. I'll get myself in a position to take a shot. Today I was struggling. I had my rifle lay on the ground at this point. I have to pick it up and put it on my shooting sticks. I think I put it down next. I had to get out of my chair to do some arrangement in my hide and left it down there. Which is a tactical mistake on my part. And this one's turned its back on me. Like I said, it's often the danger. They sit on the floor. Normally you'll get the side of the head or the back of the head. That tail's in the way. I'm about to get another visitor in a minute. I've panned back and I can see a better target to the right hand side of the tree. So I'm about to shoot. Guess who just took a shot with his bolt part open because he hadn't checked it was all the way in. Luckily, I've quickly reloaded, taken the shot. That squirrel's run off the other one, but I've got the first one. Quite lucky really. Here it's squacking up the tree. I turned the camera off to wait for him. I had to turn it back on again and failed to do so. I eventually did catch sight of him coming down the tree. I just got a bit of footage of him dropping off, unfortunately. My apologies for my rubbish video filming skills. That's the other squirrel. So I got both in the end. Over to the ZULUS. This is my dilemma. You can't see the back of his head. I've just clocked the other one on the other side, pan the camera back. I'm just going to prepare for a different target, straight on headshot. And that would be firing with the bolt open. Got lucky there really. pellet didn't hit exactly where I wanted to, but because it was a headshot, it allowed me to take a quick secondary shot, which wouldn't have been necessary if I'd bothered to check my bolt was in position after picking my rifle up. I actually managed to press the button correctly on the ZULUS. Catch that secondary shot, or second squirrel rather. It's a poor mistake of mine though. I normally check that. I put longer bolts on all my rapids. It's much easier to cock them. But the downside is if you put it down, sometimes it can knock the bolt up really easily. I should be checking that. So I got away with that one. Just needed this one to sit still. This is the problem when you're trying to video with various items. You usually have to set the video camera going and hope it's still in frame when you get to take the shot. I'm guessing it's going to go up onto the feeder. Looking like it. Should be a formality from here, I would have thought. You can hear me now cocking my rifle because I failed to cock it after my last shot. Trying to do it as quietly as I can, and the squirrels ran off. Unbelievable. You sigh of disgust there. It's not run away in panic, but it's decided to get off the feeder. Should have been a dead squirrel, that should have been. So annoyed with myself. Very, very annoyed. This is ZULUS footage. Pretty decent quality, I would have thought. So that's 2 amateur mistakes I've made in the space of 10 minutes, I think. Maybe half an hour, I can't remember the times between the two. I'd have to look it up in my little diary. I always keep a diary. Times I shoot squirrels on. Comes in useful sometimes. Predicting roughly what time of year to go shooting. Of course, you know what happens next. It eventually gets on that feeder. Once they sit like that normally, you can pretty much guarantee a kill. There, look. Now I've got to cock the rifle because I just realised, squeeze the trigger, nothing happened. Ever so quietly. No, he's heard me, something's put him off. If they sit in a proper feeding pattern, it's normally pretty much difficult to miss them. Unless, of course, you haven't cocked your rifle or the bolt's open. I think that might be the same squirrel. I think it goes up that left-hand tree, across and then down. I think it might be the same one. Hopefully this will be different gravy. Want him to feed, then sit up nice. Like that. No, of course I've doubted myself and I want to see him dip down one more time to take another mouthful. No, I'm happy he's feeding correctly. There we go. Barracuda Hunter Extreme doing its job. 177 pellets definitely do a good job of killing things. As long as they're placed correctly, that is. Over to the ZULUS, you can see I had the crosshairs on him and I wanted to see him take another mouthful. Hold the crosshairs where their head was and it should come back up into them. Very close. Minor adjustment and squeeze the trigger. There he is. Normal kicking behaviour. Check out Ted's link in the description as to why they do it. course I'll chuck a little quarter speed shot in, see what the slow-mo looks like. And the victims arrived. After the first runaways, it took quite a few hours before anything turned up, and then he turned up in a pair to start with. They started popping in, so I can naturally assume from that there wasn't any local ones. They were all travelling from a distance. That's what you normally get. You get ones that are local to your feeder or close. Now for a period of hours they move. Normally get there at first light or thereabouts, and then normally sit there for 4 to 5 hours. Sometimes longer if you're having a good time. If you're getting success, that's normal. By then, on a cold day, you're normally quite cold. Feet, legs, arms. You've had enough. If you've got some dead bodies on the ground, you've succeeded in removing some. As I said before, normally we like to see them sit on the feeder in a feeding pattern, but they can be sat on the ground doing the same thing. Basically dipping the head, getting a handful, sitting back up again. I've proved in a previous video, I can't remember which one, their reactions are twice as fast as ours. So when you decide to take the shot, their head moves. I know this. I've proved this. So whenever you take a shot outside of a feeding pattern situation, there's always an element you might get caught by head movement. Rush shots can end in a wounding. They also end up in a miss. At least for the miss they run off to catch them another day. This one's messing around a lot. You'll see me take a shot and miss it in a minute. In hindsight, I should have been more patient. But I very often see comments saying you should have shot it at X, not waited. Here's a perfect example why we normally wait. A lot of messing about. Heads bouncing around all over the place. Looks for all the world like he's finally going to sit down and have a bit of a munch. And now he's going to mess about on the top. I'm tracking him the whole time with the ZULUS. Can't quite see him properly there. Took the shot, hit the tree. Sometimes you get away with it. They'll go and sit somewhere to look at what that was. Missed him completely. You'll see exactly why I took the shot. He's not panicked, is he? He's hopping away. Hopefully he'll come back again in a bit. But here's what happened. You can see why I took the shot. There we go. Completely missed him. He ducked his head like a good boxer and slipped the punch or the pellet. Kicking myself for that afterwards. Worst thing about it is I do know better. I do know better because of a lot of experience. Now you can see on video exactly what happens. Should have been more patient. Should have waited a bit longer. I do believe this is the same as Squirrel. I did try seeing if I could get a shot to the left, but just too far. Just have to be patient, I think. Ended up giving up in a second. I didn't have to wait long, literally a couple of minutes. See him on this branch. I thought he was going to go up the tree on the left and then come down the feeder tree. I'm sat stock still at the moment, trying to move so very, very, very slowly. Just sat there, wants to really look at that hide of mine. When they go in this type of alert stance, it's just as good as a feeding stance, it's probably better because it's not moving at all. They just go rock still. Here we go. That's Squirrel 4 on the deck finally. For all sorts of calamities. Again, I'll repeat, if you want to know why they kick, look at Ted's video in the description. Explains about the disinhibition of the spinal neurons and the fight or flight kicking. Birds normally flap their wings. Of course, I've got to focus the Zulu S. And as soon as I get a headshot opportunity, down he goes. Here comes another victim. He came running across under the front of my hide. Climbed the tree, went across there. And I thought this was absolutely going to be a given. He was going to come down. Side of the tree. It's on alert straight away. That would be a good spot to take him. A bit like that one on the branch I just shot a second ago. Looking straight at me pretty much. Should be a pretty easy shot if I can only get the rifle up in time. I think he might have spotted me move. I thought it was around the back of the tree and it was going to come back around, but it didn't do. Very often I'll do that, hide around the back of the tree. You can guarantee as soon as you turn the camera off and make a cup of tea, I'm not sure where that one went. Then this other one comes in. It looks for all the world like he's going to come and sit on the feeder. The ones on the ground seem to be putting it off a bit. Which doesn't normally matter that much. They normally overcome their fears and go and sit on the feeder. Right now I'm just watching it with the camera. Very often turn the camera on and sit down and look at the screen so I don't have to move. See what's going on outside. For some reason, it just tore off. No idea what that was all about. That's my bag for the day. 4. Decent bag. It would have been better if I hadn't made so many amateur mistakes.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.